Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a little bit of a review for you. I've been getting right back into reading at the moment because I've deferred uni for a year. I've got a lot of time on my hands. I'm getting back into reading, watching a lot of movies, things like that. And one of my favourite series ever, I've read the books 3 or 4 times, the whole series, is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This series is amazing. I started it, I think, when I was in year 8, so about 5 years ago. I think it was year 8. Anyway, so I read that entire series within 2 weeks. There's, just look at my bookshelf, there's Vampire Academy, then there's Frostbite, then there's Shadowkiss, Spiritbound, Blood Promise, and Last Sacrifice. And then there's the spin-off series, the Bloodlines series. I don't have all those books yet. I haven't gotten through Bloodlines yet either. So, yeah, I haven't really gotten around to that. I'm going to start reading that soon, though. But they brought out a movie for Vampire Academy last year. I think it was last year or the year before. And I don't know what to think about it. I have a lot of opinions, but I can't make up my mind whether I actually liked it or not. So if you've read the book, if you haven't read it and you're intending on reading it, tune out now, there's a lot of spoilers. But if you've read the book, there's a relationship between Dimitri and Rose. And in the book, a lot of the chapters are focused on the building of their relationship. Like at the beginning of the book, she clearly disliked him, but she respected him. Like he was standing up for her when they got back from being captured, when they ran away, and Dimitri brought them back to the academy, and she clearly respected him as a guardian. And when he was assigned to catch her up, you could tell that there was some tension between them, like some feelings and emotion, but they were all suppressing it because of the fact that it was not right, like he was her teacher. But yeah, throughout the book you can see that relationship building and building and building until the very end when they finally just in love, and they know they're in love, they tell each other they're in love, blah blah blah. But in the movie, it was very, we meet Dimitri, we see them train maybe once where she's like checking him out because he's up on the, I don't do sport, I don't know what they're called, but they're the things with the round bits on it that you hold on to and you like lift yourself up, yeah, those things. You see him on that and she's full on checking him out, and that's sort of when you see, oh, maybe she's got some feelings for him. And then again you sort of see it when she's reading the little memo from her mum in the forest. Sort of see it there again, but it went from 0 to 100 really quickly with them. Like it went from, she sort of likes him, you can't really see much feelings from his side either. You sort of see a little bit but not a lot, and you don't see the relationship develop. It went sort of from a little bit to a lot very very quickly. The movie adaptation, I found that they were trying to make it more for teens, like, you know, younger teens, more like 12 to 15 sort of age, rather than the young adults like the book was originally written for. I found that it was, they used comedy in the wrong way. You know, there was too many jokes and things, and for such a serious, dramatic book, the movie adaptation had way too much comedy where places shouldn't have been comedic. Like, I don't like the whole Natalie thing. I don't like that she was making weird jokes, and I don't think that actress was a good fit. She certainly looked the part, but I don't think she was a good fit for playing Natalie. She seems, I really don't know how to describe it, but I don't know that she was a good fit. Neither do I think Karova was a good fit. I was expecting her to be a little older, maybe, you know, the stereotypical headmaster. You know, I was surprised. When I'm reading the book, I don't imagine Karova with the Russian accent. But in the movie, I was surprised that she had the Russian accent. I did enjoy that. But I just thought that maybe they could cast it with someone a little older. The whole typical headmaster sort of thing. She looked younger than, well, younger or same age as Dimitri, and that just, I don't know, it didn't really sit right with me. So back to the comedy. I found like they made the jokes, they weren't funny. You know, they weren't funny. I looked at the very first scene when Rose and Lissa were in Lissa's bedroom and they made the joke about the headmaster and trying to fit into society. That was alright, but then Rose started making those funny faces and talking about Botox. It wasn't funny. It just was strange to watch. It was uncomfortable. I did not enjoy that. I would have been a lot happier if they'd stuck a little closer to the book. I think I would have enjoyed the movie a lot more if I hadn't read the book prior to watching the movie. I had quite high expectations for the movie because I loved the book so much. And the fact that they just didn't include the stuff that I liked out of the book, just, I don't know. The casting for Dimitri, I loved it. I probably should be saying this out a little bit better, putting all the casting stuff together, but the casting for Dimitri, I loved. Absolutely loved it. It was amazing. Very clever that they got an actual Russian actor. So then they had the Russian accent that they talked a lot about in the novel. It was very genuine. It wasn't like in the movies where they put on the fake Russian accents. It was very genuine, and he had the long hair, the trench coat. It was just very to the book when it came to Dimitri, and I was very impressed with that. Yeah, they managed to find the perfect cast member for it. When it came to Mrs. Carp, I also thought that was a really good casting. She had just the right look of crazy in her eyes, and like, oh, yeah, it was just the right amount of crazy to, you know, teacher and misunderstood and Strigoi, and yeah, it was very, yeah, it was very good choice. Very good casting choice. I found that the emotions surrounding the death of Lissa's parents, in the book, it was, you felt very, very sorry for her, very down whenever you read about it. In the movie, I just think overall the movie didn't portray the emotions of the characters that well. Part of it was the acting, to be honest. I don't think a lot of the acting was great. It felt like a bit of a low budget film. I don't know, it just seemed very, it's very, very hard to describe, but I didn't feel like the emotion was there in the movie. I don't think the actors got into character very well. But yeah, when they're talking about Lissa's parents in the movie, I found that they didn't make the audience feel the emotion for the parents like we should have. Like in the novel, I was sitting there completely like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has happened. Like, who would destroy the memorial? Why would they do that? But in the actual movie, like, you felt sorry for her, but you didn't feel devastated that it happened. I felt more upset when I saw the dead animals, to be honest. It just wasn't done right. Something I do think they did really well was the scene where Rose breaks her ankle when she trips over. I thought that was very well done. It was very gruesome. I have to look away every time I watch that. I've seen the movie 2 or 3 times now, and I still have to look away every time that scene comes on. It's very gruesome. Don't like it. But it was done very well. I think the scene with the ankle breaking, it portrayed it a lot better than the book did. Even though I still love the book version way better. Another thing, back to the emotion again, my favourite quote in the entire novel, out of all of the novels even, was, "No, if I let myself love you, I won't throw myself in front of her, I'll throw myself in front of you." That's what Dimitri said. In the novel, 3 times. I've read the book more than 3 times, but 3 times I have read that line and I have cried reading it in the novel because of the context it's in and the way it's written in there. Watching the novel, it was sort of just brushed over. Like, it's a very, very heartfelt line, and that's what I was talking about before when it comes to Rose and Dimitri's relationship. It's a crucial part of the entire series. Like, it's not just about Lissa, it's not just about the Strigoi, it's about Rose and Dimitri's relationship. That's why it's from Rose's perspective and not Lissa's perspective. They've got the relationship with Dimitri there, and I just don't think that they pulled on it well enough. I don't know. I don't. It's just not right for me. And I think that the line was done really well in the book, and in the movie it was just no emotion there. He was sort of just saying, like, he looked at her and he said it, and I think it was partly the actress that plays Rose. I think it was partly her reaction to the line, and then at the end when she tackles him, and it just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more I can talk about when it comes to it. Just looking at my notes. Yeah, in the movie, what I did like was the little bit at the end that it showed the Strigoi waiting to come down. Yeah, so in the film, I enjoyed seeing that there was the Strigoi waiting in the cave, ready to come down and, you know, set the attack on the academy. That was good foreshadowing for the next movie. It was like a little preview type thing. So I really hope that because I've done that, that means they're going to make another movie. And I hope that they take into consideration all of the sort of comments and things that have been left on the movie. I don't know how many people feel the same way as I do. I know I've talked to one of my friends who have read the books, and she feels the same way about a lot of this. But yeah, the movie just doesn't sit right with me. I enjoyed it, and I think I would have really enjoyed the movie a lot more if I hadn't read the book beforehand. And I think that's the same with lots and lots of book to movie adaptations. But yeah, it's very hard to describe. So yeah, I liked both the book and the movie. I think I enjoyed the book a lot more. I kind of wish I'd watched the movie first. And I don't usually say that because usually I can find only a few negatives when it comes to book to movie adaptations. I mean, going off topic, and I know it's another vampire book, but when Twilight came out, I think I read the books first, and I was very impressed. I know at least the New Moon, Eclipse and Breaking Dawn, I know I definitely read the books before I watched the movie. I definitely read the books before I watched the movie. Twilight, the first one, I'm really not sure if I did. But going back and looking over it, the adaptation between the book and the movie, it's very similar. There are differences, but it doesn't stray too far from the way the book was written and the way the audience is intended. Like the intentions for the audience to view the characters and things like that. I just viewed the characters differently in the movie for Vampire Academy than I did when I read the book. I don't know. Yeah. I wish I'd seen the movie first because I would have enjoyed the movie a lot more. I'm keen to see Frostbite. I hope that they do make Frostbite because they sort of led into that they would with the way that they ended the movie. I know a lot of people that haven't even read the books were quite excited. I know that I went twice to the movie, I think, at the cinema. The first time I went with a group of friends and 2 of us had read the books and the rest of us hadn't. And I know that the people that hadn't read the books really, really, really enjoyed the movie. They thought it was hilarious. They loved it. The 2 of us that had read the books, we were a little iffy about it. I mean, we both enjoyed the movie, but we just didn't love it. And I think that's where they went wrong, because they didn't they weren't as true to the book as they could have been. They tried making it into a little teeny bopper comedy rather than a mature romantic comedy. Even they could have put comedy in there, but they just didn't make it mature enough. The book was written for a more mature audience, more young adult rather than teen. But yeah, you know, it was very Twilight. Yeah, it was very different, and I still don't know what to think. Tell me what you think down in the comments if you know of the book and the movie, and you know, just let me know what you thought, and comment, like, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.